Hey everyone, MJ here. In today's video, you're going to get a sample of one episode of the Next Step podcast. This is a subscription service that is available for everyone who wants to further their language learning skills with immersion-style learning. Immersion-style learning is a new way of learning languages that is very different from the traditional ways of looking at a textbook or learning from a teacher. There's ups and downs to this method, just as all the others, but with this one, it is really great for people who want to learn on their own time, people who can focus and make their own schedules to study English, and people who don't want to spend time going to an actual language school. In this podcast subscription, me and Adam make episodes once a week, and those episodes are about 30 minutes long. Each of the episodes, we talk about our daily lives, what's been happening recently, and some interesting things that we maybe see in the news in Japan, Canada, or America. But enough of the explanation. Let's get to the episode. Hey everyone, welcome back to another fantastic audio-only episode of the Next Step podcast. We're the hosts. My name is MJ, and I'm always joined by my buddy in Canada, North America. It's still the continent, North America. Adam, what's up?
What's going on? How are you?
Good. Dude, over here in Japan, the weather is getting lovely.
Yes.
It's Sakura season. It's, I guess, in the Kanto area, it's hitting the end of the Sakura season. Okay. And it's been the latest it's been for a long time, but still, it was magnificent. Last weekend was the prime time, best time to go see the Sakura, and I went both Saturday and Sunday.
Wow.
Two different places, but
dedication.
Yeah. But it wasn't your traditional kind of hanami like we did when we were, without children and young.
Yeah.
And
late nights.
Energetic. Yeah. Late nights. You get there or around lunchtime for a few people. You have a bunch of alcohol, so much beer, not enough food.
True.
And
always a
hang
company.
out. Yes. Always a few conveni runs from a few people to get more stuff. Yeah. So it wasn't that style of hanami. I don't know when the next time I'm going to be doing that style of hanami.
You need to schedule it.
Yeah. But I feel like that is what I think of when I think of hanami, because that's how I experienced it firsthand.
Right.
Do you remember your first hanami?
Yeah, actually. It was when I was living in Osaka.
Yeah.
And my friend's mom had a restaurant.
Okay.
And so they had like a barbecue.
Oh, we talked about this before.
Did I?
think so.
Maybe a long time ago.
Your friends, mom.
Yeah.
And you would always go to that restaurant.
Izakaya
kind of?
Yeah. Izakaya kind of, yeah.
And they invited you, and that's when you...
And they invited me, and their friend had another Korean restaurant because he was Korean. So we had our barbecue next to his shop, a restaurant. And then he brought his food, and then the mom brought her food. So it was like a big barbecue with beer and everything.
Yes.
It was
nice. Oh, man. So,
I think I went to a hanami after that, too. It was like back to back.
Well, hold on. You were grilling outside?
Yeah.
Wow.
There was like I don't know how to explain it. It's like in front of the restaurant was like a little space.
Okay.
Kind of like a park, but not a park.
Yeah.
Just like a green patch of grass with two sakura trees.
Yes.
And
just two. Okay, wow.
Just two. And then there was like a bench. So it was right in front of the restaurant.
All right. So it's not the traditional hanami where you go out to a park where there's like...
Right, a billion people.
A bunch of people.
Not
and,
a billion.
and a lot of trees, many trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, exaggeration when you exaggerate a story, you make it more than what it really is. Right, but it feels like that, it's like I got onto the Yamanote line at 7 in the morning, and man, it felt like there was a billion people in there.
People, yeah.
Just because it was so packed.
Right.
Exaggerating it. That's good though, because I feel like when you're speaking in English, that gives a better sense of like to understanding of that story.
Right.
Instead of stating the facts of what it really was like.
Right. Yeah.
You add a little fantasy, put a little Ghibli magic in there.
Yeah, sprinkle in some Ghibli.
Like for me, what I always think about like with Ghibli is funny.
Yeah.
Is when they cry, when characters cry, their tears are huge.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Sometimes there's faces on them.
My gosh, it covers their entire face. I can't think of a good example, but almost any of them, especially after Sento Chihiro, like when she cries, like those teardrops are the size of her eyes, like coming out, rolling down massive. But it exaggerates, it shows, how much she's crying. Right. As well as, you probably can't do realistic tears in animation that good. It's like, you gotta exaggerate.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't look, it would be,
But for Ghibli, it's like you get a pass for that. If you don't do it like that, it's not a Ghibli movie.
Yeah, you get a pass. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
You pass. Yeah. Yes. Dude, are there any cherry blossoms that you see around your area?
There is actually. Last year I was driving and there's it's called a creek. It's not a river. It's not a stream, which is a smaller river.
Yep.
It's a creek, which is an even smaller river. Usually they are places where water just flows. So it goes to the lake, basically.
Yeah.
And then the creeks become streams, and streams become rivers, and rivers go into the lake or the ocean.
Okay.
But we have a creek, and there's a trail, a walking pathway. So I was driving along the street, and I was just, listening to music, and I looked over, and I saw like a bunch, not just one or two.
Yeah.
Before it was just regular trees, but I looked and I saw like the whole pathway was all cherry blossom trees.
Okay.
I was like, oh wow, I need to go there, but I never ended up going there. So this year, I'm gonna definitely go there and see what it's like. But there's a few areas, not just in my city, in Toronto downtown, that have cherry blossoms as well. Yeah, but it's of course people don't do hanami like
right.
Like,
It's a normal tree just hanging out. Oh, like flowers, nice. I remember like after living in Japan and experiencing the cherry blossoms, the sakura, hanami, all that awesome stuff, and I went back to the States. I noticed that there was a lot of cherry blossoms in my town, like. But it's usually like one tree here. There's like one tree in that person's yard. There's one tree in that random park. It's just sitting on the side.
Right.
Like, and I never really noticed it. Never even like thought about, oh, I remember a beautiful tree in the springtime and this, like, no, that only came about. Just I don't care. As well as, maybe I'm just a little kid going out to play. I'm not looking at the flowers and stuff. But yeah, it's such a special thing connected with Japanese culture. Appreciating them. And it's so ingrained. It's so connected, fused with the whole country, where we see that they are specifically like, we're going to build a park here. We want cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
So we
for sure
plant, and this is where we're going to plant them along this walking path. So it's going to look beautiful during that season. Or there's this new school, or the school, definitely you need cherry blossoms at the school for entrance exams when that happens and stuff. And you notice them so much more. And there are wild ones in Japan. What is it called? Yamazakura, maybe?
Maybe,
yeah. And so same in the US. We have these trees, but they're just random. And nobody cares except anyone who's lived in Japan and is now...
Right, or knows. I was just going to say, like, I only noticed it after I had the experience of seeing cherry blossoms. And I remember the park that I usually go skating. There's one by the entrance. And I was like, oh, wow, sakura. And I went up to it, and it said, like, there was a plaque, like, this is a Japanese cherry blossom tree.
Yeah.
Quotation mark, sakura. It was donated from this city, maybe like Machida City or something like that.
Wow, okay.
Sister city.
Sister cities. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, cool. Wow, there's a sakura here. And even like near my house, there's a park that was built by a Japanese architect, and there's sakura there. Yeah. So it's interesting how places that I think like Japan has connections with, or there's a person who has created this, and that person is Japanese. Like, there's always a sakura.
Yes.
Or something Japanese.
Something Japanese.
Yeah.
And
nobody would pay attention to it unless you knew that's Japanese.
Yes. Yeah. And that's where it connects to. So there's probably like other things around that we don't know. It's like, oh, that's from Brazil. And it's like, only people who know about the culture like can recognize it right away.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's interesting.
It's good. But yeah, so the weather is still kind of holding up nicely, and the cherry blossoms, they're chittering, their petals are falling and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be beautiful weather again, like 24 or something.
That's
so
good.
I'm taking the family. We're gonna do another Hanami round. It's gonna be good. I'll send you some pictures.
It's nice, like, because usually the weather isn't that great. It's always been like raining or cold, or like it starts off sunny, but there's still a cool breeze, so it's nice to have actually warm weather.
Yep.
With the cherry blossom.
Yes. Some years it could be a total wreck, where the weather just destroys any chance, or it's like, there's been a few times, but I think we're a little lucky this year. Nice. So excited for that. But hey, everyone, last episode, it was me running solo, and I did a read-through of an article, and I thought it was pretty good. We were talking about cherry blossoms and stuff, exactly what we're talking about right now, going to Hanami. So I thought that was cool because, we did do a lot of learning of phrases and specific words that you could all learn from and build your vocabulary with in English. So we're going to do a quick run, or not so quick. We're going to read an article. Again, wonderful Sora News 24. About a very interesting article about riding bikes from Kobe to Tokyo. Yes, riding a bike 600 kilometers from Kobe to Tokyo. Now, this isn't done by a young kid who is just wants to explore. This isn't done by a traveler from overseas who wants to backpack and ride his bike from one place to another. This 600-kilometer ride was done by a 89-year-old man.
Wow.
Japanese man, to visit his 61-year-old son.
I have so many questions.
So many right away. For me, it's just the number, the age. A man who is a father who is 89 has a son that's 61. I'm like, that's pretty amazing. Because I look at 61, I'm like, wow, that's pretty old.
It's like almost retired.
Yeah. And then, but his dad's here still, amazingly, and is 89 years old, almost 90. That right there is amazing. But then we see 600 kilometers. Ji-chan is riding to see his little Ji-chan Jr. Amazing story. So me and Adam are going to go read this article. Okay, here we go. A couple of weeks ago, Mitsuyo Tanigami, a resident of Kobe, decided he wanted to see his kids. However, both his son, Naoya, and his daughter, Sayuri, are grown up and moved out of the house. Okay? So it wasn't as simple as soldering sauntering into the living room and giving them a fatherly pat on the head. Okay, there you go. When was the last time you used that word, Adam? Sauntering. To saunter.
Never. When reading this article.
That's why it caught me off guard. I'm like, what is that word? Oh, to saunter, which means to, like, I don't know, casually walk. A stroll, right? Which I use to stroll through the park. I'm just strolling through the park. Walking with no purpose, relaxed. To saunter is just another way of saying that. Okay, so here we go. This guy, Mitsuo, has 2 kids, but they're grown up. We continue the story. Naoya, his son, lives all the way in Tokyo, about halfway across the country from Kobe. So, is that halfway across the country?
I guess so. If you count, like, the top, like Hokkaido.
Yeah, it depends on how are you laying out Japan? Are you going vertical, top to bottom, or left to right?
I'm just thinking like a string.
A string.
And then you pull the string straight, and then that's like where...
Yes. Yeah. It could be cutting across. That's true.
Could be half, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's continue. So you might expect Mitsuo to hop on the Shinkansen and ride a bullet train for 3 hours to the capital.
That's what I would expect.
Yeah, 3 hours. There you go. No problem.
Yeah.
But Mitsuo had a slightly longer ride since he rode his bicycle from Kobe to Tokyo instead. He wound up riding roughly 600 kilometers over the course of 9 days.
Wow.
9. That's a big adventure.
That is.
Remember,
like
everyone, he is 89 years old. Let's continue. Based on his physical ambitions, based on his physically ambitious choice of transportation method and his kids already being self-sufficient adults, you might be imagining that Mitsuo became a father very early in life and is still in his early 40s or maybe 30s, with his children being very recently college graduates. But no, Naoya's son is 61 years old and dad Mitsuo is 89. Okay, so yeah, just explaining. Okay, so let's look at this. Physically, okay, moving your body to be physical. Ambitious, boys be ambitious? No. Ji-chan's be ambitious. And his transportation method. So what you choose, the method, how you get there, how you transport, how you go, train, car, bus, boat,
or bicycle.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's another one. Self-sufficient adults. I thought that's a good one. To be self-sufficient means
you can do it by yourself.
All by yourself.
You're very, useful by yourself.
Yep. You can, of course, go to the bathroom. You can clean the house. You can cook for yourself. You know how to
do your laundry.
Yeah. You are self-sufficient. You can take care of yourself. Yes. All right. So here we go. Mitsuo ran a photo studio until 7 years ago. And about a year ago, he bought an electric assist bike for himself. Okay. But still, 9 days, he's 89.
No charge. Yeah.
Seeing Naoya, his son, continually challenged himself. What? Seeing Naoya continually challenge himself, often traveling overseas for his job. Okay. Mitsuo decided to take on the challenge too, which is how he got the idea to ride his bike all the way to Tokyo. Okay. So I mixed that up, everyone, a little bit. So Naoya, his son, I guess, always is traveling overseas. Right. And that's the challenge. So he's always, working hard, going overseas and stuff. And it's saying that it was a challenge for him. And Mitsuo, his father, decided to take that challenge as well. The article continues, and he did so without using GPS, Google Maps, or any other sort of digital pathfinding aids. Instead,
that is
He carried a paper map marking his route as he went in pencil.
Wow. That is very ambitious, if I must say so myself.
But at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
you're an 89-year-old man. Like, maybe you do have a smartphone, but maybe you don't know how to use it well. You don't know that there's a map.
More proficient with the paper anyway.
Yeah. That's what he grew up with.
Yeah.
There was no Navi to follow, so he knows how to use a map. That's crazy.
That's true.
It continues, when he got lost, he'd ask for directions from parking lot attendants or other locals who would direct him to landmarks so he could get back on course. There you go. So maybe he was
so
the best.
Many things
but
flooding into my mind right now.
Like what?
Like he goes up to a parking attendant and says,
yeah,
in a Oji-chan kind of way, excuse me, sir. I'm trying to bicycle to Tokyo. Which way do I go?
Oh, man.
And the attendant's like, huh? Tokyo?
Tokyo?
I bicycle?
On your bike? Yeah, you have that bike helmet on. You have your, I don't even know what kind of equipment he had.
Yeah.
I hope it gets to that section of just explaining that.
Explaining his equipment.
Here we go.
Anyway.
Setting out early on the morning of March 17th, Mitsuo made it all the way to, what is that? Takatsuki City. Yeah, in Osaka Prefecture on his first day.
Wow.
Which is 3.5 hours. From there, he kept pedaling towards Tokyo, passing by sites such as Lake Biwa and Mount Fuji along the way.
He went up that way? Through Kyoto?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I guess there's multiple
He
ways.
went the Shinkansen route.
All right. So,
because I used to live near Takatsuki.
Oh, okay.
So that's far.
You know where that is?
I know exactly where that is.
Yeah, that's not a straight. It's not a straight shot from Kobe to Tokyo.
No, it's like a curve.
Along the way, he'd spend the night at hotels or inns along his route. Nice. But that doesn't mean he had an easy trip. Mitsuo's journey coincided with heavy rains and strong winds in the parts of Japan he was passing through. And he estimates that he fell from his bike around 20 times before arriving in Tokyo. Now, as an old person, not me, I'm saying, but from what I've heard about when old people fall, when people of a higher age, elderly fall,
seasoned,
they are more susceptible, which means there's more of a chance, a high percentage that they can break a bone.
Mm-hmm. Or worse.
And this guy says he probably fell around 20 times off his bike.
Wow.
At 89. I mean, that's so scary. I wonder how it was. Okay. Oh, man, the article's almost finished. Oh, I hope it talks about his equipment. Let's keep it going. Still, he kept making progress. On the third day, he reached the town of Fuso in Aichi Prefecture, where Sayuri lives. Oh, nice. He made a pit stop at his daughter's. He spent 2 days at her house and also paused for 1 full day rest. Again, though, this doesn't mean that Mitsuo was pedaling in the path of least resistance, as his route through Kanagawa Prefecture, Tokyo's neighbor to the south, took him through the steep mountain passes of Hakone. Ooh, but he also has that electrical bike, which is very, very helpful, I'm sure.
Though, I don't know about that. Like those mountain passes, steep. They're steep in a car.
Okay. I'm not.
89-year-old on a bicycle is like.
I must have not gone through those mountain passes. Because I remember going through Hakone and stuff and walking around Hakone and seeing a lot of hills. Yeah. But if there's, it does say mountain passes. I didn't see, we were not in the mountains. We were still in the city of Hakone.
The city. Oh, okay.
Okay. Man, finally, on March 25th, Mitsuo made it to Tokyo. March 25th. He left March 17th. It was. Yeah, yep. The morning of the 17th. Got there on the 25th. Mitsuo made it to Tokyo. Though he'd been navigating by paper map, Mitsuo did have a smartphone on him so that Naoya could track his progress, and he came out to the street to greet his what word is that? Octogenarian. Yeah, octogenarian dad as he pulled up on his bike. Everyone, I have no idea what that word is.
I think it just means his 80-year-old. Like 80. Octo is 8, and genarian is generation.
Ooh.
So like his 80-year-old.
His 80-year-old dad. Why would you say that in an article? Why would we use this word? The only cool thing yes. The only cool thing I see about this right now, which is more common in Japanese, like kanji, is how there's 2 parts, and you were able to have a good guess of what the meaning is from the parts of the word.
Yeah.
Which I didn't pick those 2 apart. I'm just trying to octo, like, yeah, okay, 8.
Okay.
But the generation part, I didn't put those 2 together. But once you said that, I was like, oh, there you go. Yes. They're very different, but they do change a little bit to fit together, just like kanji does. Hey, there you go. Learn something new. Right. Am I going to use that word? Nope.
No. Do people use that word? Not really. Not usually. In writing, yes, but it might be on your TOEIC test. But don't expect to hear it at all.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, here we go. During his final paragraph, during his stay with Naoya, his son, the father and son took to the local sites and, yes, went for a bike ride together. However, Mitsuo opted to take an easier route home, apparently either by train or plane, so he left his bike at his son's place in Tokyo. He hadn't asked Naoya to ship it to him, though, and instead says he has plans to come pick it up this summer and ride it back to Kobe.
Wow. He's going to do it again.
Wow. I mean, he did it once.
I guess so. I mean, that's pretty nice, pretty cool. As a person who rides bicycles, like I would have enjoyed that myself if I had 9 days.
Yeah.
Just go.
Another like kind of cool thing, or like maybe just thing that happens as you are getting older.
Mm-hmm.
You look at your life and you're like, what did I want to do? What haven't I done?
True.
Some things that maybe before you didn't have time to do.
Right.
You had other responsibilities, you had your job, family, and you were able to dedicate 9 days straight to just ride a bike.
Right. Yeah. And stop wherever you wanted to.
Yeah.
Right.
This might have been his like stand by me journey for himself. It was solo, just him.
Right.
But he was able to do something that other people probably wouldn't have
tried. Yeah. Even his children probably wouldn't have tried.
Oh my gosh. Come on.
It's like, what are you doing, Daddy?
I wouldn't do that now, with the young age that I have, thinking about when I'm 89 to ride a bike all the way and be like, no way. Through rain, all of that. Yeah. Ups and downs of the streets, again, the weather.
Right. Plus anything that can happen.
Oh my gosh, so much. Everything's going to happen. How many times did he pop his bike tire?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't even say specifically, like that's the end of the article. There's no extra pictures to talk about what type of equipment he went out with.
Right.
Did he have a tent? What kind of, like, was it just a hyaking kappa that he used in the rain? Did he have
like a mamachari dendo bicycle?
Yeah, was it a mamachari version?
Or was it like a mountain bike? Because that also, plays a big role if you're going on, even though if it's electrical assisted, How did he charge it?
That's a good point. How did he charge it? Unless, I don't know. Do they charge with braking system?
No.
They don't have that. That's just for cars.
Yeah. I mean, some do, but I'm assuming this is just like a
really expensive. But no, if it was a normal one, it's just a battery.
Yeah, it's just a battery with a little motor on the tire.
So he must have just had it a place. Or it did say also that he stopped to during the nights to sleep at a hotel or an inn or something. So there you go. He just found the outlet and plugged it in. My gosh.
Carried the charge to him?
Cool, might as well.
Yeah.
So then oh my gosh. I want to see. I'm sad that there's no pictures of him in his, on his journey.
Right?
And of course, he's not doing it for any kind of
charity or anything. He's just
charity, nothing. Of course, he's not going to take a picture himself. He's just I'm going.
Woke up one day, he's like, you know what? I'm going to buy a bicycle.
I wonder how much of a plan he had for this.
Right.
Or if it was just next week, I think I'm going to go
to Tokyo.
Yeah. He's like, that's not bad. That's in 9 days. Yeah. For me, even just traveling, on an airplane for however many hours over to America, it's 14. Even that's just I can't even think about those multiple day travels on a some people do a long a cruise ship, even a cruise ship where people are but it's a mini town inside. No way.
The other thing I realized, he stopped a couple days.
Yeah.
So it took him less time.
True. He stopped one full day.
One full day.
In Menchik,
but then he stayed at his daughter's
in Aichi.
place.
That's where he stopped.
Right.
He paused for one full day of rest.
Okay.
Where he didn't go anywhere. He spent, at 2 days. So maybe he got there one night, spent the night, I'm guessing.
And then stayed.
Hung out one day. And then the next morning, left.
So it took him 8 days.
Amazing.
That's,
Mitsuo Tanigami. You're a real one.
Absolute legend.
My gosh. All right, everyone. That's it for the article. And that's it for this episode of the Next Step podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hopefully you got some inspiration, learned some new phrases, and are enjoying English with me and Adam. But hey, that's it. Continue to work hard and improve your English. And we'll see you.
Yes. On the next.
Podcast. Hope you all enjoyed this free sample of what an episode of the Next Step podcast is like. I'd love for you all to sign up and immerse yourself even more with English. To sign up, check the link in the description down below to the MJ and Adam Show website. When you sign up, you get access to all of the old episodes that have already been posted. You have the ability to download each episode so you can listen to it wherever you'd like. As well, it comes with a PDF downloadable sheet. This sheet you can print out and it helps you really organize your thoughts and the different words and phrases that you might hear during the episodes. So this is great for the people who want to not only listen to our episodes, but also do a little more active learning, writing down these phrases and words that you didn't know, maybe some that you did know, and continue building on the English skill that you have. That's it for me for this one, everyone. Hope to see you on the Next Step podcast.